Hello, hello, hello to my lovely 2 subscribers. What a sad day it is indeed. We have the red Zerg player, BazookaBenji, another friend of mine, sent this replay in to me. He is spawning at the 7 o'clock position. And in the 2 o'clock position, we had the orange Terran Zima. Let's see what we have in store today. This is a diamond level game, I believe, if I'm incorrect. Hopefully I'll fix that in the description below. But you never know. Hopefully I can get more subscribers. So if you do like what you see, go ahead and subscribe to me. It means a lot to me. Just allows me to continue doing this because I know people care about my videos. You know how it is. We do have a supply depot going down around the 10 supply, or probably it was down the 9 supply as he was getting up to that 10th one. That does allow it so you do not become supply blocked at any time. And it's a nicer timing. I do prefer going with the 9 supply depot. We do have the Overlord already being made, and we have 3 going down. I don't necessarily agree with this. I would like to see Overlord going down at the 9 and doing the extractor trick. It's that way it allows you to not be supply blocked, and you're constantly creating drones. So I mean, it doesn't help a lot, but it's something you can do to improve. We do have our pathing SCV coming down and just stopping. Probably because he's back at his base making this fine refinery and a barracks going down. It's a standard play right here. Not necessarily the fastest factory can be made, but definitely a nice stem, quick stem can be upgraded to give it that early pressure that Zerg hates so much. We do have a scouting drone now going up. Going to check. He's probably going to be able to make it here. Will he make this supply depot? No, he doesn't. And we have the drone going in, trying to see. We do see no orbital command being built yet, so he's opting to get a couple more SUVs before he makes that, which I'm sure he will. We have a triangle being made right here. Kind of a little scouting. I would prefer him to stay on the creep and just scout around, see if he can scout out that spawning pool. He did not see that spawning pool. That can be an issue because that can affect your build sometimes. We do have the extractor being put down at Orange's gas, so he will not be able to use that until he can get some Marines down there. And when Marines are trying to take out that Expo, you do know that he's trying to go for possibly a more of a tech build, but you definitely know that there won't be super early pressure unless he decides to do something wonky like this 2-rack switch he's building right now. So I do believe that there will be pressure coming up soon. We have a hatchery going down. This has been going down for quite some time. Not sure what supply that was. I'm pretty sure that the timing looks to me that it would have gone down around the 18 supply. We do have the queen spawning and instantly vomiting that spawn larvae right on that hatchery. We have nice overlord placement here. We have the extractor being taken down now, and we have some zerglings poking at the front. A couple more zerglings more than normal, which is nice. It opts it so you don't have to build those spine crawlers right here at the front, and you kind of know when they decide to push out, and you can put the spine crawlers as a response to them moving out more than having. I actually don't agree with him bring his zerglings back. I would like to see at least one of those zerglings staying out here, just so if it is a big group, he will be able to do that. And because he opted to bring his zerglings back, he put down those spine crawlers anyways. So that's 200 minerals lost for reasons, which could have been avoided. Just keep a zergling or 2 right up here. It will help quite a bit. Especially on your macro game. We do see a common 3 racks being built right now for our orange player. We do see 2 idle drones. I'd like to see those going back to work. That will definitely help income-wise. In the income tab, we do see 23 Jones over 19 SCVs. So we do have our Zerg buddy macroing up, and it's a very good sign that he is a decent Zerg. I would like to see creep spread starting now. He does have excess energy in which he could do that right now. Instead of spawning larvae right away on this queen, I'd like to see what players should be doing is putting down a creep tumor instead of spawning larvae right away, because there's no way you can support two hatcheries being spawn larvae. we have a layer being built right now. Unsure what type of tech path. I'm pretty sure he's going to go for some type of fast meta. He has not gotten that metabolic boost to give these Zerglings their extra speed, which is commonly called a speed lane. We have a Roach Warren going down now. So he's probably going for a Roach heavy build, and I would assume some Infestors later on. We do see these 3 racks. Would like to see some pressure coming now. He has not finished stim yet, so he's probably opting to wait for that. We have a factory going down, and quite possibly, because his money's nearing the 400, we'll see an expansion as well. We have 3 spine crawlers now. This is around the number you want. I would like to see these spine crawlers move up around here. We have 2 more extractors being put down and trying to get as much gas as possible. Gas is very important as a Zerg player, as I've said before, and will continue to say, to drill it in your guys' heads. It's really the driving force for the Zerg player, is that how much gas you can get, what your gas income is. We have constant production of Marines and Marauders, probably going for tanks to go around with it, just so he can secure this position a lot easier. We do have Zerglings finally being placed in at the expansion to see when that goes down, and also when he moves out. We have another Zergling at this Zelnaga Tower. I'd like to see another one just placed right over there. We have Roaches coming out now. I'd like to see either a Baneling's Nest or Infestors about now. It'd be really great for this build. I'm not sure if our Zerg friend has scouted this out. He is just now coming in. He's just built that changeling, just propped it down. Great way to get some nice little scouting in instead of sending in that sacrificial overlord. Just put in that changeling. He does now see the factory. Let's see if he sees the 3 racks and how he responds to it. He does see all 3 of them. So he sees the double factory and the 3 barracks. That changeling was just now finished. We see that Red is now trying to take down these rocks to take his 3rd base. We have Roaches and Hydras coming down. I don't agree with the Hydra build, simply because they just get obliterated from tech units. I mean, siege tanks just take them out. I mean, Hydras are pretty good against Thors, not the greatest, but I would definitely prefer to see either Mutalisks or Infestors to deal with tanks. Just fungal growth it so they can't siege. We finally see that command center going up right now. We have speed being metabolic boost being created right now for the speedlings. We have Hydra range. We have Overlord speed, which is always a necessity, especially once they get Vikings and try to take down pathing overlords. More roaches being produced. We have the expansion going down, as I said before. We finally have an infestation pit. Let's see if he either decides to go for that hive tech or he does get those infestors, which are also good against a bio-building Terran. One too many drones in this gas right over here. We see 4 instead of the 3. We do not see the pathogen glands yet. We have missile attacks, level 1 being built. We have Aspire finally being built. We have, and this Overlord is doing nothing. Siege tanks still staying there. A very passive game so far, which is always a dangerous thing versus a Zerg player. As Protoss and as Terran, you can never be passive versus a Zerg. You need to make the Zerg passive, because when you leave them alone, they are able to expand like this. I mean, he just now is getting his 2nd base. It's not even saturated yet. He doesn't have the income. He's 10 workers behind. He's just now taking a gold. This is going to be a very dangerous position for our orange player. Just a macroing Zerg is a dangerous Zerg. You want to limit that ability for the Zerg player to macro. We do see BazookaBenji just using his creep with his overlords. I'd like to see creep tumors, so it's a great way to make your units faster and to make your guys more cost effective. It also forces the Terran player to start hunting for those creep tumors and use scans. We have a hive going down now, nearly finishing. We have more drones being produced. We do have that spire out. We have 12 more drones being made, so he is droning up quite a bit. We have a starport being made. Our orange player is supply blocked, and he still has that idle drone. We have a small force right here. Once again, I would like to see less hydras being made in this army. We have a corruptor being made. He is going for broodlords. I think that's another great way to deal with the siege line. And he is getting his infestors. I mean, he does have the unit composition he needs. I just think he's opening too many tech options, too many tech trees, instead of getting everything and seeing what so you have everything to deal with whatever unit composition your enemy does. It doesn't work out like that. You'll always have something too much of. You'll have too much of one thing, and that's what they will exploit, and that's usually how you end up losing the game. However, if you have, let's say you go Roach Infestor, they get the counter to that, which would be a lot of Marauders. Then you can just go to Speedling Hydra. Then they start getting the tanks to deal with that. And then you can switch to your Mutalisk. And then they have to go back to Marines. And then you go ahead and do your Speedlings and your Banelings. Basically, you want to adapt to the game rather than building everything. It's building 2 Spine Crawlers here, Spore Crawlers here. Wonder why he's building him here. It really doesn't defend much because if he opts to go this direction, will more so mess with the pathing of his units more than anything. We do have another expansion going down for Zerg now. This Terran is being way too passive. I mean, he must know something is up. I mean, he hasn't really scouted all game. He's only sent that one SCV all game. He's playing in the dark. He's just assuming that the Zerg player is just staying on 2 base. I think, if you don't give pressure to the Zerg, they're just gonna go crazy. I mean, I'm kind of confused as to why the Terran player has not pressured. I think he's probably used to being the passive player, so possibly he is a Zerg player. Usually, that's what that means. Because as a Terran player and a Protoss player versus a Zerg, you have to be aggressive. You have to keep them, not on this many base. This is when it just gets out of hand. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he even has an Ultralisk Cavern now. He's still making upgrades. Broodlords are now being made. I mean, it's ridiculous how far ahead Zerg is because there was no pressure put on early on, or continuous pressure for that matter. No drop pressure, no stim pressure, no tank pressure. It's just our Terran player was just content with doing nothing. And that's just just the game just is going to get out of hand for our Terran player. I don't see how our Terran player will be able to defend this, or how he will be able to stay in this game as soon as these Broodlords come into play. I mean, they're going to come here and just obliterate this whole group. Upgrades, no upgrades whatsoever. I mean, no upgrades here, but the macro is just ridiculous. And we do see 2 armor and 2 missile attack. We have fungal growth going down. I mean, this game isn't even funny. I mean, it's so one-sided. It's ridiculous. As a Terran player, I guess this is a lesson to all you Terran players out there. is that